Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of the D.O.M Movies Podcast, starring Mike.
Hello.
Hello there, and Steery.
Hello.
And Caitlin over there.
Hey.
And we're back here. I hope everybody had a really good week away from us, because I know we did. So
A week away from ourselves.
Yeah, it's a well-needed vacation from ourselves, our minds, our bodies.
Our problems.
Our problems, yeah. We got 99 problems, and this podcast ain't one.
Oh, God.
All right, everyone. All right, well, we are back, and we have missed you guys. It's been a very fun week. You know, always when we get the questions going and thoughts in our brain, gives us something to do, you know, besides our normal life. So, anything anyone would like to say? Any newsworthy movie news that you would like to share, or anything fun? This is
just that Andrew Garfield's out.
Yeah, there you go. All right, yeah, if you're...
Just announced.
It just announced, was it yesterday or the day before? It's official that Andrew Garfield is no longer a part of the Spider-Man brand. So, R.I.P.
And they're looking for much younger, but still high school, so...
I think my thoughts on that, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I think, they need to have somebody who is already... Because, I mean, if you put him in Spider-Man, if he's going to join the Avengers, you know he's Spider-Man. I don't want any more backstories. I don't want that kind of reboot, because it'll be the third reboot, or like the third story of Peter Parker.
If they're going to put him in Civil War, then he's already established, because people know him and they want to find out who he really is.
Yeah,
and that's the main plot line
is
of Civil War.
That's the next Captain America movie?
No.
They said that's where he's supposed to show up.
It's the one, I guess it is next Captain America.
Yeah, because it's 2017.
Yeah, because after what happens in Ultron... there's supposed to be
sets up Civil War
with Captain America and
so that's where he runs into him. I guess Captain America's hanging out at the local high school
bar.
It's like we're looking for Peter Pecker.
Whoa.
Peter Pecker.
They passed that law that makes you reveal who you are. So Peter Parker reveals that he's Spider-Man, and then it causes problems, for his family and everything. So
I know. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's Marvel. I trust them. I would, it is what it is. I think we'll see.
I mean, they'll probably do a great job. I just feel like poor little Andrew got a bum rap.
He did. Poor guy.
Yeah.
That's okay. But let's get on into it. So basically, these two questions we have for the week are a movie that has affected us in some way. We watch it, and it was either a good affected or bad, or just has, whatever, and has. Wait, what? Wait, what are we saying?
You're changing the topic.
No, what? The movie that affected
us as a kid.
As a kid?
Yeah.
I just messed everything up, didn't I? Y'all are changing the rules on me now.
No.
I was like, as a kid, I think
it's 3-on-1 here.
That's embarrassing.
That's right. Well, you know what?
Screw y'all.
Screw you guys. I'm going off the books here. We're gonna have this.
I'm on my own topic.
Yeah, I'm on my own topic. That's okay. You know what? No, I got it. Screw you guys. That's right. This is
my favorite movie from the 60s.
Yeah. This is D.O.M Movies First, y'all, where I'm going to the video dry. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, well.
Think fast.
Think fast. Okay, so right into it. You know what? I have one.
Okay, good. Okay,
good.
That works out.
A movie that affected me as a kid is one that Starla I can blame for showing me. It is.
That's right. I don't know what it is.
You know what it is.
Is it the one you talked about the other day because you knew that was the topic and then changed your mind?
I don't like the way you're talking to me right now. No, you know what? This is a whole new day. This is a new day. This is a new chase and a new brand. Okay, I am choosing Alien 2.
That's not the one you talked about when you
that's not.
And it's not Alien 2, it's Aliens.
Alien. What? Why are we getting... You know what I'm talking about. Aliens, Alien 2. No one...
Everybody love
everyone love me. Love me.
Give me
Aliens.
Okay.
Give me a hug.
All right, everyone. Because that one to me as a kid was just more... just crazier. It had a lot more of the aliens in it, and it was very more... to me, it was more suspenseful at the time. I think now it's more... of an action movie than a horror movie, but when you're watching it younger, it's very, very terrifying.
No, that is terrifying.
And then the part where I think it's I think Newt falls into that little sludge water or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that alien just he's right
when
behind.
He comes behind her?
Yes. It's one of the scariest moments in a movie I think I've seen as an adult.
Yeah.
And as a kid, it terrified the crap out of me.
I also love when they're first in there and they're coming down out of the walls.
Yes. And they're like, where are they? Where are they? And they're just right on top of them.
Yeah.
It's awful. Like, I think the images in that are really scary as a kid to watch,
Yeah.
And just everything about that was just terrifying to me. And I still watch it now, and it's just, it's very scary.
So great for, 86 is when
yeah, because the first one was, 70-something?
79.
79. So within the, the gap, they, did really well. Then you get to Alien 3, and you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Because they're like, they figured out how to use CGI, and they're like, oh, God.
That's
really practical effects. That was more. That affected me more than anything.
You can add that on another list that we can work on.
Oh, worse CGI.
Yeah. Or just bad. Sequels.
Just bad sequels. Yeah, that'd be a good one. But yeah, so Alien 2. Because this was more just off the top of my head, I had to choose something. I won't talk a whole lot about it.
You didn't have to.
I didn't have to. We've all seen but it's more fun this way. We've all seen Aliens, and just Starla has showed me so many movies. Just terrifying movies, and I think that affected me in a good and bad way because it made me want to get more into movies.
That is the magic of being an older sister.
Yes, show me the way. But yeah, so Aliens is my pick, and I'll be more prepared next time. So, Caitlin, you're up.
Well, I actually changed mine also.
Is it Aliens?
No, yeah, no.
Because that's
you
fine. I already chose
me
it.
With Aliens.
And y'all are never gonna know what mine originally was.
I had a few ideas off the top of my head, and I actually decided that one of them affected me a lot more than the others. Mine is Jaws, because my grandpa showed that to me when I was 5.
Oh wow!
He was just watching it.
That's advanced.
That's hardcore, man.
He was just watching it on TV, and I was in there with him, and he didn't change it or anything, and I was terrified. I saw the sharks, and it's just, it's awful.
I can see her sitting there, her eyes just like saucers,
looking
a little Precious Moments character.
Yeah, I'm saying, because everyone listening has seen Caitlin. Can now imagine her like 5 years old. Just terrified, watching Jaws. Her eyes huge.
Refuses to take a bath.
Yeah.
No, not take a bath, but when I was like about.
But eat my pee.
I'm nerd. Getting into like the ocean when I was like 7, we went on a trip with family, and my aunt was trying to get me to go out into the water, and she just wanted to go out far enough so we could sit on this raft and let the waves push us back in, and she was like, "Oh, let's go like." To where it's up to your knees, and I was like, we're there. It's done.
We're done.
Being 7, you don't have to be that tall to get there. But I just was done. I took like a few steps, and I was like, okay, this is as far as we go.
Kaylin goes in the water. Kaylin goes out of the water. And she takes the rest. Our Kaylin.
I've been to the ocean plenty of times, but since.
But when you're a kid, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying. But even still, I won't go out to swimming distance.
Exactly.
I will walk on the beach and a little bit in the water, but I won't go out to where it's covering anything.
Yeah, there was
because it scares me.
A story recently, in this past week, I think a shark killed some surfer in Australia.
Yeah, you don't even have to be that far out. You can come up to where the water's at your waist, and there can be sharks.
And
there.
Jaws looks so good especially when you're younger, that it's more like a documentary. Don't let this happen to you. Is how Jaws looks when you're little and watching it.
When you're that little, it's terrifying. And I remember sitting there thinking, why is he letting me watch this? Because my parents wouldn't let me watch stuff like that, but he just didn't change it, and I just sat there and went with it.
I imagine your uncle watching the movie and you watching your uncle
It was my grandpa.
Your grandpa.
The awkward seal, just
Yeah.
Big eyes and panic.
Yeah.
Is this a kid's movie?
But no, all of the movies that affected me as a child were ones that my grandparents showed me when they shouldn't have. So,
oh, gosh.
It's just awful.
I could hang out with these people.
I know. You can affect my movie interest all day. Yeah, exactly.
But no, that's definitely the most terrifying one.
Do you enjoy Jaws now?
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I do enjoy it, but I need to revisit that one because it's been a very, very long time.
I love Jaws.
I've probably only seen it about 3 times ever.
I just look for any reason to rewatch Jaws, I think.
If they ever show it in the theater.
Oh, we're going.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That'd be a good one.
Me, pay-per-view, one-on-one with Jaws.
Or that.
Yeah, or that, yeah.
Don't they have it in 3D?
3D Jaws. That's
the third one. Yeah,
that's the third one.
Yeah.
We don't like to talk about that.
But the first one, if they just made it 3D.
Yeah. Like if they're trying to do like Jurassic Park, re-release it in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
As long as they don't do any weird Jabba CG situation.
No, it'd be like E.T.
Yeah.
Him in the bathtub randomly, and you're like, "What are you doing, E.T.? Get out of there! Yeah. Get out of there, E.T.
You're drunk, E.T.
You don't. Yeah. Yeah. Like, and he was. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anything else you'd like to say about Jaws?
No, that's it. It's just the most terrifying
it's like,
movie.
nope.
I'm still scarred from it. Still careful about going into the ocean.
All right. So, good choice.
It was effective.
Then. Yeah, it was effective. It did its job. Starla, the floor is yours.
All right. The movie that affected me most, and I've only seen it once in my lifetime. So what I recall of it, bear with me because I was about 9 when I saw it. It's called At Close Range.
I don't know what that is.
It's based on a true story, which I didn't know at the time, which is probably best.
Yeah, it's probably better. Yeah.
About the Johnston crime family.
Oh.
I've heard of that.
Oh, it's fantastic. It really is a good movie. Christopher Walken is the lead character. He plays the dad, and his son, who he was estranged from, who becomes close to him and ultimately part of the crime spree.
Yeah.
Is played by Sean Penn.
Oh wow.
And
Sean Penn's good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, from my perspective, when I think back on it, it was this guy finally gets to know his dad he didn't really know, and his dad ends up killing his friends. That is what I gleaned from that, and his girlfriend. And really, he did. They were the kiddie gang. Most of them were, in their teens, late teens. And anytime he felt like one of them was going to turn on the family, or that it was his dad and his uncle, they basically shot him. Shot him and buried him. And I think about the images in that movie of him luring these, teenagers basically to their grave and making them think they were there to do a job or to talk about something or hang out, and then just shooting them and burying them wherever they fell. Wow. I mean, it's just disturbing.
Yeah.
And the thing that disturbs me the most, his girlfriend, in real life she was 15, this his son's girlfriend. They're planning on running, and they get in the car. They're about, and this is everywhere, what happened to him, so it's okay.
I was like, what? Spoiler alert.
The girlfriend was played by Mary Stuart Masterson, which makes it even harder because she's in Stepford Wives as a little girl.
Oh, you love her.
And Some Kind of Wonderful and Fried Green Tomatoes, and so it's just too much. But she gets in the car, they're about to leave, she says, I forgot to feed the dog, and then just shots everywhere. They just shoot up the car and kill her. So, to me, when I was little, it was so devastating to me that she said, I forgot to feed the dog as the last thing she said, and then was shot. Because it's like such a normal thought to have. She's just this normal girl having a normal thought about being concerned about her dog, and then she's dead.
Jeez.
So it was...
9 years old.
Yeah, it was very... Mom and Dad, they'd rent whatever was out, and I could watch it as long as there wasn't nakedness. And I saw lots of scary movies. I thought about this for a while, and, lots of scary movies that affected me in a positive way, I consider, because they kind of shaped the type of movies I like. And I look back on it as a fun experience, seeing, Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time and those type of things. But this one traumatized me in such a way I've not watched it again. I will rave on how good it is, but I haven't watched it again.
So let's talk about aliens again, really.
Let me tell you, and this gives you an idea, because Robert De Niro was offered the role that Christopher Walken ultimately took, and turned it down because it was too dark.
And he's done some dark things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sean
He did Grudge Match, for God's sakes.
Christopher Walken, I read that he checked all the guns that were used. He was very paranoid about one of them being accidentally loaded. He was very scared of that. He checked all the guns. There's a scene, because Sean Penn, his son, ended up testifying against him. He was shot 8 times and lived, and testified against his dad. That was another thing that stuck out to me, because it ends in the courtroom scene. I'm giving you the whole movie. It's all right. It's still good.
I was like, what?
But it ends in the courtroom scene where they say, describe the man seated here, and he says he's my father, and that's the last line of the movie. So that devastated me. You could get all psychologists on it because of daddy issues and that type of thing.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. When you were 9, how did you feel?
But in the confrontation between the two of them before the court and all that type of thing, he goes back to his dad and he pulls a gun on him and holds it to his face and is yelling at him about what happened with his girl and that type of thing.
Yeah.
But there was a gun that was checked out that was meant to be used. And when they were about to film the scene, Sean Penn goes, "No, give me the other gun," and takes a gun that Christopher Walken hadn't checked.
Oh, no.
And they filmed the scene and used the scene of him holding this unchecked gun up to Christopher Walken's head. And so his reaction, the fear that he has is real because he didn't know if the gun had problems.
Yeah, Sean Penn's got some
balls.
Yeah, he does.
I wonder how the relationship is now.
Yeah.
Like, does Christopher Walken like to eat with him now or talk? Or...
Have they made any movies?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and if anybody knows the song "Live to Tell" by Madonna, that was a song from this movie, and that was Sean Penn's suggestion because they were married at the time. So there you go.
He's trying to butter that bread.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good movie, but it just, that just devastated me. So I think the stuff that was very real was more traumatizing to me than like Freddy Gets You in Your Dreams. The real. As scary as that is, you can.
Yeah, and I think I was the opposite because like younger, it was always like Aliens or Alien or Nightmare on Elm Street. Like that terrified the crap out of me. Now, because I understand the movies. Yeah. The more real ones terrify the crap out of me now more than ever.
I was convinced that at the end of Commando, he gets on the island. Yeah. Guys, I was convinced those were convicts that he really killed. I was like, wow, he really was killing all those people. Like,
no. My God.
It looked really realistic.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy.
To a kid, yeah.
Yeah, because when you're younger and watching these things. So I can see, but it's just wild that your brain at 9 was thinking more like an adult mind now when it comes to realer movies.
It terrified me. That movie terrified me. And I thought about it for weeks afterwards, her saying, "I forgot to feed the dog," and then getting shot. It just bothered me so much.
I just imagine a little 9-year-old Starla just freaking out. I'm gonna go like, Starla, what's on your mind? You okay? How was school? I forgot to feed the dog! just running away.
It was so devastating.
Shit. I mean, I couldn't do it now. Like I would watch it and be like, no. Because now I know, so I'm going to be anticipating that whole thing.
Yeah, you got to see it. I mean, it's really great.
Yeah, we need to have a night where we watch that, because that's
traumatizing movies?
Traumatizing movie night, yeah. Jeez. Well, we can just watch everything that we pick.
And, I mean, very great cast and everything, so it really is a good movie.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And knowing
what year you were 9, so
86.
was it 86? Okay. Wow.
Yeah, knowing it was based... on a true story is interesting.
Is even more kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
I know those true story ones, man. They love to.
It's like that ID channel.
Yeah, and the stretch of land that he buried those teenagers in is the same stretch of land that they filmed The Village. So there you go.
Oh, fantastic!
little something extra for you.
Yeah.
And we all love The Village in this.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Well, good pick. Yeah. That's a respectable pick.
Thank you.
One that I haven't seen, and it wasn't on the top of your head. So you planned it out. You knew what you were going to say.
This was methodical.
Yeah, and
just like Christopher Walken.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, just like
I'll be damned if I have an unchecked gun in my.
This is before he got fun and danced around and stuff. Yeah.
It's his weapon of choice.
Yes.
Oh, you see what I did there?
Well done.
I see what you did.
See what I did there?
I like that.
All right, Michael.
Okay.
The floor is yours. Nobody puts Michael in the corner.
Yeah, the movie that I picked, it traumatized me as well when I was a kid.
God, yeah, I know.
It's called Beastmaster.
Oh no.
And it's kind of like it's like Conan meets Dr. Dolittle meets Snow White. So
and everything derailed.
I was like, yeah, what?
So this guy, he's a prince. He's born a prince, and his cult leader kills his parents and sends somebody to get killed. Kind of like Snow White, where he's trying to kill the kid before he grows up to be the king. And he gets saved and grows up and gets revenge on this guy, but he can talk to the animals. He's like, that's his army, is talking to these animals.
Hence Beastmaster.
Beastmaster, right?
But
it's like the Game of Thrones style type. Atmosphere and everything, but the reason it bothered me so much is I don't know why my parents let me watch it, because this cult leader sacrifices babies. He holds a baby up on this altar and throws it into the fire.
Oh my god!
I was like, I know, I
this little Michael watching this, like,
oh! It was horrible. But there's one family that he meets and that helps him out, and then the guy kidnaps his baby, so he's getting ready to throw it in the fire, and the eagle comes by and saves the baby.
So there's the payoff.
Yeah, Michael was that baby meme. Yeah,
they had to murder those babies so that you could see the one get saved.
Right.
Yeah. So the 1,000 dead babies is made up for the one saved eagle baby.
But yeah, and then there are these other creatures in there that he meets. There's these like bat-like creatures. They're like the size of people, and they wrap their wings around you, and they suck off all your flesh. And
oh my god!
And they wrap around it, and you see this guy struggling. It was horrible. And then they open him up, and all his bones just fall out. It's so disturbing.
I don't want to do this podcast anymore.
I know.
I just want to go take a shower.
It was horrible. And it came out in 82. So
is it just bones? Or
it's just bones.
Okay.
There's like nothing on it. It's just... And
they treat you like a chicken wing.
Yeah, they just...
Yeah, and then at the very end, when he's fighting the cult leader and his army, they swoop down and help him out. So they're good. But he almost walks into one, and he opens up his wings, and he just stops, walks around him. But Rip Torn plays the cult leader, from Dodgeball.
Jesus, yeah, dodge, dip, dive, ducking, baby!
I didn't know this when I was doing my research, and the guy that made Phantasm directed it too.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
So, that's solid.
Yeah. All right, well then it's a respectable sounding movie.
And it made a couple sequels too.
It's interesting to me with these movies, like the things that the adults, and I apologize, Chase, the adults in your lives don't realize that you'll pick up on when you're young watching something.
Yeah, see, I blame you two for the things I watch now.
So probably like your parents didn't think twice about you even paying attention
to the
babies.
They're like, we're showing you a movie.
Yeah, he's got a sword, and the mom, the neighbor's mom from '70s show, Tanya Roberts, she's in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the love interest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's like one of her first movies.
Jeez.
And then the dude, like his friend, John Amos from Good Times.
Oh, nice.
His friend. And in the sequel, Tony Todd was in the second one, and then they made a third one with James Avery, Fresh Prince dad.
Love James Avery. So R.I.P.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor James Avery.
Yeah, I know. Just the image of the little baby just falling into the fire.
Yeah, that just...
It's so disturbing.
See, the far-fetched stuff, like, not that, there probably aren't cult leaders out there sacrificing babies. But the far-fetched stuff didn't ever bother me.
I guess I didn't watch enough of the realistic stuff.
Mom and Dad, I think, would rent those type of movies because they thought, she'll get bored and go do something else. But they just would mesmerize me because I just assumed this is the adults I had to look forward to.
Yeah, and I was going to say, because the more realistic it is, the least willing I would want to watch it.
Yeah,
because it's easier to go, the alien's fake, or the eating bat is fake. But if it's like a real thing that happened or could happen where it's just like people are the monsters, I want no part of it. Because it's just like, that's just terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And I liked lots of those true stories. I got into The Untouchables, I got into, Young Guns, all that type of stuff.
Well, yeah, and Young Guns is great, and then even when it comes to like true crime things like Zodiac and Black Dahlia, I love stuff that either has really happened and hasn't been answered, or it really happened and it just was like this devastating thing, not because it makes me sick or anything, but it's just interesting to me.
Yeah.
And like L.A. Noire, when that video game came out, that was one of the coolest games to play because it was really slow.
Yeah.
You had to be into that kind of thing to really enjoy it.
But when you're dealing with a kid, what you want to be able to say to him is, honey, it's fake.
Right.
But if it's based on a true
story, honey, it's a movie.
Honey, it happened a long time ago.
Yeah,
these people are dead.
Exactly.
Yes. These people are
around. You can't say it's not real because it was real.
Usually that's what I got from Mom is, they're in jail now, honey. Or this was 100 years ago, they're dead.
He's a drunk.
There's another one of them out there somewhere.
He's a drunk.
That's our neighbor.
Yeah, they live next door. Look at him wave.
Like that's why Jaws is difficult because sharks are real.
Sharks are real.
So then they're left with the task of saying, but a shark that big and aggressive would not happen.
Yeah, exactly. A shark like
but
that,
do you trust
especially because Because then you get curious.
Who found it.
Yeah, because you get curious and you look up shark attacks and you're doing that thing where you traumatize yourself over again because you're already scared. So you're like,
even Roy Scheider does that.
The image of the guys on the 2 rows of the guys with the sharks. God, that's horrible.
Yeah, you're like, what?
Yeah, so I see why all of these were traumatizing for different reasons.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. That's just awful. Like all these, because I haven't seen y'all's, and that just doesn't even sound fun. Like,
I know.
You know, and yeah, that's just crazy. All right, well,
on an up note.
On an up note, anything y'all would like to comment on any of these videos? These VHS tapes. These
moving pictures.
Yeah, these dang Nickelodeons. Anything? All right, well, beautiful. I'm glad we have a lot to say in this podcast.
Okay.
Last one was 4 hours long, and this one's going to be 32 minutes. Pretty close.
We're almost there.
All right, well, and because I made an error, I didn't get to say the second theme for this week, but basically,
wrong.
No, Chase, this is not your house anymore. Well, no, but basically, I'm prepared. I'm prepared for this question.
Are you?
But aren't I? Yeah. But basically, this one is going to be a movie that if you had a theoretical 5-year-old or just a kid and you want to watch a movie,
your own, not just some random.
If you had some random boy you found across the street,
yeah.
If you had and some of you, I know for a fact, some of you who listen have kids. So if and I'm sure you've shown a movie by now, but what would be a movie? You've talked to him at some point or other. But the question is, if you had a kid, what would be the first movie you would want them to see? You would want to show them as like you can watch a movie, we're going to start off strong. We're going to show you a movie that you will remember for the rest of your life, hopefully. Because it's in a good way. Not, like Caitlin, you were 5 and saw Jaws, for God's sakes. Like we're not going that route. We're not trying to terrify our kids. We're trying to just show them something fun. Something lighthearted that we either enjoyed ourselves or just are good movies overall. So, all right. So I guess I will start us off.
Yeah.
I went back and forth with a lot of different movies, genuinely because I have so many. You know what I mean? Like you have so many, and it's like that you love. Like I have a lot of movies I are kid favorites from when I was little. And I already said Goofy movie last week as a choice, and that was when I was like, well, maybe I should just say it again. But I'm going back to my roots, and I'm choosing I'm going back to my youth, and I'm choosing one that I remember seeing seeing as one of my first movies, and that is Toy Story.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Because it is one that I remember seeing, for the most part, I remember seeing that as one of my first movies, and it still sticks with me. It is one of my all-time favorite movies, kid or just movie in general. I remember going to Toy Story on Ice a long time ago, and I had that little stuffed Woody toy, Careful there. Insert joke here. But no, and I had it for almost my entire life, and I think one of the movies it finally just lost its way. But I think it's one that if you have a kid, you'd want them to show it because it shows the love for a toy. It's okay to love your toy, and in your own mind, watching that movie when I was a kid, it made me feel like my toys loved me back. So it was a fun one to. It made me respect the things I had more, and it made me respect my toys more. And so it was like it was a good learning curve for me to watch, and I think it'd be a good movie. All right, everyone, they're all glowing right now. They're all glowing.
I'm a proud papa.
No, and I think that's
you're not wrong though, because our nephews, they're 11 and 3, and both of them love Toy Story.
Yeah.
And it's something that's
connect.
Already it's being passed down for generations.
Yeah, because the movie came out in 95, so I was 4 years old.
I could just see that in the theater when it first came out.
See? There you go. And, it was a really great movie for me to watch that at that age.
Yeah.
And for the fact that it was so good that it stuck with me to my adulthood, because I'm 23 now, so it's like that movie has stuck with me the entire time. I grew up with it.
Yeah. And you're Andy's age, baby.
Yeah, and it was like I say, it helped when they came out with Toy Story 2 and 3, because I think Toy Story 3 came out in 2010. So I remember seeing that movie alone, because all you guys were, all y'all were out of town, and I really wanted to see it.
Couldn't just wait.
And so I went, no, I couldn't.
This is the movie that traumatized him as an adult.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, no, with Toy Story 3, off subject, I went to the AMC, I got off work. I went to AMC to go see the midnight showing because it was the Thursday.
He was crying.
I was. It was the Thursday that it was coming out at midnight, and I got off work. but they sold out of one of the showings, so I had to wait and see the A-Team instead. And then right after
he
A-Team...
had to see the
A-Team. I did, because I didn't want to go home. And so, like, right after the A-Team, I watched Toy Story 3. And so I know. So that was that. But yeah, back on Toy Story real quick. But between... all right. But no, back on that, you know, Toy Story taught me a lot about the actors, you know, because it's like, you hear, oh, who plays the voice of Woody? Oh, that's Tom Hanks. Who plays Buzz? That's Tim Allen. And you want to know more about these people, and it introduces you to the movies they've done or the things they've done, and so it broadens you to these other great movies that you probably wouldn't see or interest these kids even based off of, oh, hey, you should know Tom Hanks or Tim Allen. You know, you shouldn't just know those people. And homeboy who plays Rex, I can't remember his name, but he's from Clueless. I can never remember his name, but he's in Princess Diaries or Princess Bride. My bad. And what's his name?
He's Mr. Hall.
Yeah, Mr. Hall in Clueless. I cannot remember his name, but I love him. And was it
Inconceivable.
yeah. And homeboy who plays the pig. I'm not prepared for these other people's names. These supporting cast.
Homeboy who plays.
I cannot remember his name from Cheers.
John Ratzenberger.
John Ratzenberger. Okay, so like
Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, so he was in that, and of course, again, you look at him and you look at these other Pixar movies he's done. He was in Monsters Inc., Monsters University, The Incredibles, WALL-E. He was in Ernest. He was in all these movies that you know you would know about unless you kind of introduce them to them. Mm-hmm. And the story, you know, it's like this toy who gets jealous that his owner has loved another toy. So it's like it's just the whole thing, and then they're coming together at the end. You know, it's like they finally become friends and realize there's room for everybody. You can love more than one toy. You can love, you know, whatever. Yeah. And you know, it just and it just you have that, you know, Sid who is awful to his toys. Yeah. You know,
everybody knew that kid.
Yeah, everybody had that. Everybody has that one kid, either in your family or you're friends with, and just has a toy and just needs to destroy it. Yeah. And so it kind of, again, it makes you understand, like, oh, maybe you shouldn't destroy these toys because they
and I will say this, being so much older than you, I can vouch for this. You were so good to your Toy Story toys when you were a kid.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, exactly.
Took photos with them. And I think it's nice. I think most kids go through... I did that with my My Little Ponies, where I had to have photos with my My Little Ponies. And so I think Toy Story, it validates a lot of that love you do feel for your toys when you're younger.
Because when you're younger, they're your friends. Because you play with them so much. You create stories with them or scenarios where it's you involved with them or whatever. And so that's what that movie did for me. So I think it'd be a good thing to show my child, because it'd be like, hopefully, they don't turn a little bastard or something, but based off of Toy Story, it gives them this respect for their thing. Yeah, exactly, Chasina. You give them this little respect for their toys, and they're just anything they own.
Mm-hmm. And I think it bring a new relation to you and your kid. Yeah. That you understand
I was a kid when I saw, and plus a more bonding experience. Because this is a movie I watched when I was a very young child that hopefully we can bond over. So... so that's my...
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, and Randy Newman, I love that. I don't care what y'all say about him, but I love Randy Newman, alright? Left foot, right foot,
Poor baby.
Yeah, poor guy. I will say, though, one of these if we ever do a podcast about the saddest moment, or movie you watch and just felt sad about in a happy way, I would say it's Toy Story 3. Oh, yeah. I remember watching that in the theater and just being so sad, and I was alone.
That you had to see
I was looking to my left. I looked to my left. I looked to my right, and it was like somebody a parent with his kids and just some random boy shitting his pants or something. And
a random boy.
And I was just there tearing up because I'm like, this was what I grew up with.
That
and I'm
one
alone.
Was very sad, though.
I'm sharing this experience.
It stressed me out.
Like when they all were, about to get, I guess, incinerated.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they just kind of accepted it. It was like,
they're like, they accept their thing, and then the very end, it's like Andy plays with them for the last time.
Yeah, that's sad.
Because that's all they wanted. Because it was like he hasn't touched, played with them in a while, and he's just been doing his own thing, and he finally got that like lengthy time to play with them before he gave them away for their new journey.
That was, I think that was probably emotional for a lot of people that grew up on Toy Story.
One of the saddest moments. It was hard. So, Caitlin, you're up. We'll get to somewhere better. There's no place like home.
I don't know if I can top Toy Story, but...
Yeah, I know. See, I needed to redeem myself with Aliens.
Because, wow.
Yeah, because Aliens a good pick, and it did affect me, but I wasn't prepared for that, so...
No, this is actually one I decided last minute, but it is one that I've watched since I was very young, and my parents showed me, The Sound of Music.
Hey.
I love that movie.
Love that movie.
It's a really good movie, and that one is a classic. It's been around... What year did that come out?
Oh, 68?
Yeah, so
60,
a long time.
Oh, man.
I knew it was somewhere around there.
Love Julie Andrews.
Yes.
Me too. I love
Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Yes, it is a really good movie, and all the music in it. I love the songs. I love the story. The characters, they just really make you love all of them. Like all the kids, you kind of like just feel with them what they're going through and everything. With I don't know, like their dad's not there, and then they have this nanny who comes along, and she actually plays with them and has a good time, and they're just getting to be kids for the first time, kind of, because they don't really know how to act.
Yeah, so, no, they're like very kind of proper at first.
Yeah, and it's a really happy movie once it gets into it. I just really like it, and it's something I would definitely want to show my kid, like one of the first movies, because it's something you can watch at any age. You can start out like at 5 years old, and it lives on. Like I still love it, and I don't know when the first time I watched it was, but I've loved it for years, and it's one I'd watch over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, the thing... Oh, go ahead.
No.
Oh.
I was just... The cool thing about Sound of Music, not just, I love the people in it and I love the music in it, is that it's like several movies in one. Because you get the story of this, family where they don't really have much of a childhood.
Yeah, childhood.
And then she comes into the picture and gives them their childhood, and they fall in love, and then there's all the drama of what's going on in the world happening at the same time.
Exactly. And that's kind of cool.
serious.
It's like a historical awakening.
There is
like,
a lot. That's why it's such a long movie. There's so much going on.
Yeah. And it goes quick.
And
it
keeps you pulled into it. It's a really good story.
And like you were saying, because like that was one that our mom showed all the time.
Yeah.
And so like little watching it, and proof that you can show a little kid, because when I was little, I never knew it was about Nazis or towards the end, I didn't know any of that was going on.
Why they
I just
because
knew
it was
for
all about
some reason the girl's boyfriend turns on her, and that upset me.
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Like
what about
he
what happened?
What happened? They were in love Tuesday. Yeah. I am 15 or whatever the hell it is, 16 going on 17. But I am 12 going on 13 to me.
Oh my God.
No, but my point is...
He remembers it differently.
Yeah, clearly.
Well, my point is, like, you can show your kid, and it'll be this thing where it's like, hopefully they don't get scared of the Nazis. Like, no, because when I was little, I was paying attention to, this girl's in their family, they fall in love, they're singing. Like, that's what it was. And then at the end, I was very confused until, like, recently, like in the past 8 years, man.
Until last night.
I was reading Sound of Music, the biography.
Gosh, I noticed that too. Like as I got older, everything is a lot more serious towards the end, and you really understand what they're dealing with and how they're having to hide, because they're not supposed to be there, and it's just it's kind of scary once you but
you feel very
still
nervous.
a really good movie, and it still holds up. But that part, like as you understand it, it's still like really serious. But younger though, you don't have to understand it to enjoy the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't notice anything's different.
Because I thought the way it ended, I didn't know they were trying to escape to, was it Poland or Switzerland or something?
Switzerland. It is Switzerland.
So like, they're escaping from Poland, right? Or
no, I thought they were.
I can't remember where they started out. Are they in Germany?
I think they are.
I'm pretty sure they are. It's not Poland.
Well, yeah. Well, regardless, I think it's one. I was always like confused why they're just hiking. Yeah. Comment down below. Where are we?
And they're like pushing the car down the driveway so they don't start it.
Yeah. I'm like, what is going on?
But and that performance they have to do right at the end stresses me out.
Yeah, because it's like they're doing that to distract them so they can get through the performance and don't seem weird.
Yeah.
And then they are hiking. They're running away, and you're like, what's going on? Like, why are they running from? Like, why are they in trouble? But it's just it is what it is because he didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
He want to go back and fight. So, but it's just.
I mean, and it is a good message. He was a government official who disagreed with what they were doing, and would rather risk being a fugitive than to stay there and have to participate in a war he didn't want to be in.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean. As your 5-year-old got to 10 and 15, you can bring that
Mom,
in.
why didn't you show me that? Well, I don't know why they sound like that, but... Mom!
Why they sound like South Park Saddam.
Satan. Yeah, Satan. Come on, Saddam. Come on, Saddam.
Good
oh my gosh. No, Sound Music, great choice.
Yeah.
And I approve. So, so one day, Caitlin. Yeah, she's like, Chase, I'm looking at you. Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey. No, I'm just teasing. All right, Starla. You got one on deck.
Mine is not as classic as the ones I think Toy Story is kind of a new classic that's already jumping through generations.
21
and of course,
years. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
21 years old.
Of course, Sound of Music. Everybody should have seen it.
So
Michael's like, oh.
I know.
But my little engine that could is The Never-Ending Story.
That's a good one. It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
Real quick, before you keep going, I asked my friend Christian that today, and he said the same movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
He said the same exact movie.
That's awesome.
So that's just wanted to get that.
It's so wonderful, and the message is so good, I think, because I was talking to Michael about this. The main characters, the childlike Empress and Atreyu and Bastion, their real life ages when they did these movies was between 10 and 12. And it's every powerful character, every character with any kind of control over the situation is a child. You've got adults in there. In Fantasia, there's adults everywhere. But they're not running anything. They need a warrior from the Plains people, and he walks in and he's a little boy.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the only one who can save the whole friggin' land is a little boy. So it's a good message that it is important. You have power even though your stature may be small, or your age, you're young, or you're a nerd, or you're bullied, or
It's your imagination.
Yes.
Right.
And I think that's an important message for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so beautiful, and the effects still stand up today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean
Who
that
doesn't
it's
want a
not
luck
CG. You know how I feel about CG.
Yeah.
And it takes you through such a range of emotions. I mean, and if you're a boy or a girl, you can enjoy it. It's not really gender specific.
Yeah, you can watch it at any age. There's one scene from that movie, I think it's the first one, is when he's riding that horse in the swamp. Yeah.
The Swamps of Sadness, that devastated
I was like,
me.
Seriously?
That devastated
I know,
me.
that hurt my feelings watching that, man.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so pretty. It's just it was filmed in Germany, so we're bringing it back to the Nazis.
Yeah, I was saying, we love Nazis in this house, yeah. Jeez. Das ist gut, ja?
Careful. Wunderbar.
Yeah.
But, no, just the idea that this, Bastion is bullied, and he likes to read, and he's kind of lost in his own mind, and he's been through trauma, losing his mother, and all this stuff, and his dad's on his case about getting his act together, and, that he hides out and reads this book, and it's important. Not just him hiding from his whole problems and everything, but it's important, and he is the one that can save this whole land. And then it's based on, it's there from hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
And that as those disappear, the nothing's able to come along and destroy everything that's there.
Yeah, it's a good message to have, kind of have hope, have belief. Yeah.
I think that, and the villain is great. Gamork is fantastic.
She loves, man, she quotes that so much.
Yes, yes.
I feel it coming. Do it.
Yeah.
No,
do it. No, you're on air.
I need Mom here provoking me. But, Gamork's great. Falcor's great.
Falcor, yeah.
His luck dragon. I mean, and Artex, the horse, the ill-fated horse.
Mm-hmm.
Bless its heart.
I know. It's such a good message.
He's there at the end. It's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Still, though, you don't know that when you're watching.
I know.
I mean, when you're watching it for the first time, you're like, oh,
I know, it's horrible.
God.
And something I read today, I knew you guys would be excited about, is at the beginning, when they're all gathering in Fantasia to discuss what to do about the nothing and what's going on, if you look in the crowd, you will see the likes of Yoda, Mickey Mouse, Chewbacca, C-3PO, the Ewoks, E.T., and Gumby.
Oh, wow.
Really?
They're all kind of peppered in there.
Wow.
So I thought that was awesome.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Didn't know either.
I thought that
Is it
was
still on
great.
is it still on the Blu-ray cut and everything? Or do you go through and just
they're all in there.
Wow.
I
We need to go buy that now because I need to see that.
To
I didn't know.
for.
I had no idea. That's
I
great.
saw something the other day that said that they put Mickey and Goofy in The Little Mermaid, and I didn't know that either. They're in the water. Have you seen that yet?
Uh-huh.
It's so weird how they just sprinkle characters in the movies like that, and they're just
when
hidden.
they're all gathering for the musical number the sisters do at the beginning.
They're in there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that was actually in the thing you sent me. That's why I saw it.
Wow.
That's why we know
Disney.
everything.
Yeah,
That's
I feel
why.
betrayed. Like Disney lied to me all these years, and you just told me the truth.
No. He lied they hide things in there. I think that's neat.
I will find you, Disney.
And along the whole, everything being realistic effects, which I cannot stress enough.
Yeah. Which they don't even try anymore a whole lot.
Falkor was 43 feet long.
Damn.
And his head was 3 feet high. Holy crap. That is a big puppet to be operating.
Yeah, that's a...
Gamork, they could do the scene where he lunges at Atreyu only once because it almost, took the poor kid's eye.
Jeez.
But I mean, it just... The sacrifices that they made to get this thing filmed, and the author of the book wasn't happy with it and felt like it cut out too much of his story, and it really did. Well, by the end of the movie, you're only halfway through the book.
Oh, wow.
If you were reading it.
Is that why there was a part 2?
I don't want to talk about part 2.
Yeah, Starla likes to act like the first one was just the end.
We're talking about what I would show my fictitious 5-year-old.
Oh, sorry. I got confused.
Yeah, I know.
It's a never-ending story.
How can it be a
Mom, can I keep watching this story? No, it's over.
No, in no stretch of the imagination does Bastion become Jonathan Brandis, God rest his soul. Because it is... No.
Well, and this goes on with your imagination. You show your 5-year-old this movie, they use their imagination on what continued on in the story.
Right.
Yeah. And myself as a kid that was kind of a nerd, kind of bullied depending on what school I was in. It was nice to see a kid I could relate to, and he was a hero within the movie without having to change who he was.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
he was himself and saved the day. It was important to him,
Yeah, so I think that's a good message. Being yourself can actually be the thing that can end up saving or helping, or you don't have to change yourself to be what you think is the coolest thing. And maybe you can find a luck dragon to get after the bullies.
Yes, if you're lucky.
Yeah,
you'll find a luck dragon.
Which was my dream up until I don't know.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Michael, today's the day.
Yes.
I feel lucky.
I'm still watching for him. Yeah. So yeah.
Look out.
Yeah. God. But no, that's a good choice. And I haven't seen that movie in a while. Yeah,
it's been quite some
time.
And they're going to be showing it soon.
Yeah, we need to go see it because I just
Movie Grill.
Yeah, because I just.
It's been years. My little cousin showed it to me. So.
Really?
Oh, we see it at Walmart all the time. Like we're looking through the $7 bin, we see it and we pick it up and kind of look at each other and we're like, maybe next time. But it just, we gotta get it because that's.
I haven't seen it that
especially
many times.
Comment down below if anyone out there listening, all 10 of you. I'm just kidding. No, if you have noticed like Yoda and all those people in it, let us know because I had no idea.
It's a reason to rewatch because
I
didn't
no
notice.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times and I never noticed.
Yeah,
and I watched this movie umpteen times when I was a kid. I mean, I just love it.
Yeah, no, it's a good choice.
Very cool.
Yeah, definitely revisitable.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good choice, Star. Look at you, you're glowing.
Oh, no. I'm excited.
I know she's shy. All right. Well, Michael, let's
movie
on a high note. Here we go.
I'll try.
Yeah.
The movie that I picked, I picked it because I think it's what movies should be about. It's got action. It's got adventure. I picked Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Good choice.
Nice, nice.
I mean,
solid.
Love everything about it. Love the music. And just things like the stunts just keep getting better and better. They're all realistic.
Yes.
There is some CG at the end. And yes, I know this is for a 5-year-old, and they do have melting Nazis.
Yeah. And again, back to the Nazis.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I'm the only one who doesn't like Nazis as much.
You love Nazis, but I can always cover little Michelle's eyes for that time.
Little Michelle's eyes. Yeah.
Let me tell you though, as a kid, that was my favorite part.
It was cool.
I waited to see those Nazis melt.
Of course it was.
Awesome. It was pretty awesome.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah. But
they just look like candles.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it was gonna get an R rating, but because of that, they added like fire in front of him before he melts, and apparently that got him out of the R rating.
That is the reason I watched any Indiana Jones movies, was to see what gross, horrible thing would happen to the villain.
You're like, please.
Like Last Crusade, when he just,
Yeah, he chose poorly.
Yeah, he did.
Jeez.
But no, I liked it too because, he's not like I love superhero movies, but he's not a superhero. He gets hurt, and he gets banged up, and, still keeps trying to do the right thing, Stop.
Yeah, he's a man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one he gets shot in the car? Or is that a different one? Like he's in the.
Oh, the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, shot in the.
Yeah, he gets shot in the arm. Yeah. He jumps out the front. He's like holding on.
Yeah, and he goes underneath the truck. Yeah.
Okay.
The most traumatizing moment of that movie is the monkey eating a bad date.
Oh, I know. That was very sad.
God.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
I don't like that.
The dates get poisoned.
Oh.
He's about to eat it, and Saul grabs it.
Yeah, you've seen Raiders, right?
No.
Yeah. Oh. It's
You gotta see
watching.
I'm in trouble now.
No, you're not in trouble, but we get excited because it's
really good.
Yeah, we get excited because you're our test pony. So
test pony.
Test pony. So when there's a movie that we really love that we want to show you.
Yeah, it's Alfred Molina's debut.
And Starla loves Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina, yeah.
Doc Ock for you youngsters.
I can be the imaginary 5-year-old.
There you go.
I'll cover your eyes. Don't worry. So
Kaylin, you're 5. Do it.
So it won't traumatize you. So when you do your podcast, you won't mention this is the movie that traumatized you.
Yes.
When I was 5, Raiders traumatized me.
But yeah, the whole scene with the swordsman, I don't know if you've read about this, and he's supposed to do some fight scene with him, but the whole crew had food poisoning.
That's right.
So he's so tired, so he's like, why don't I just shoot him? So that was kind of on the spot.
That's so funny, though. Because
Like
he's like, you're in a sword fight, he just...
Yeah, he just shoots him, and that was it.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest, like, non-fight scenes.
Yeah, he just kind of sucks.
Yeah, he's just like...
Because he does the thing you always wonder why they don't do in these elaborate fight scenes. You're like, why not just shoot the guy?
Shoot the guy. Yeah.
And then he just does it, and you're like, oh.
And speaking of all, hidden characters, R2-D2 and C-3PO are in the Well of Souls. Where the
hieroglyphics.
They're hieroglyphics on the wall.
Yeah.
I'll have to point out to you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I feel like I've been reborn. This is
very cool
stuff. A lot
of
some Easter eggs in these movies that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, one thing I've seen this movie tons of times and I didn't know, but the guy that he fights that gets hit with the propeller, he played another character in the movie in Nepal. When the building caught on fire, he was killed there. So basically, he played 2 characters that got killed.
Jeez.
In the same
I figured we got a big dude on set.
Let's just use him. Use him.
Right. So I thought that.
Raiders is great.
Yeah.
Which goes back to, I have a question for you guys, because y'all are Star Wars people. The theory out there is Star Wars really takes place in the past or something like that.
Yeah.
And so do you think maybe that because they're showing R2-D2 and C-3PO in this on the wall, so it's like would it be maybe somebody had saw them? They're referring to they saw them in the past.
Yeah, maybe Earth is Tatooine or something.
Something like that, or just
that could be it. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Good it's a.
So it all comes full circle.
Yeah. Because literally it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Far away.
Because this was right after Empire. It was 81.
Really?
So as an adult, somebody explained that to me, that Star Wars is supposed to have taken place
a long time ago.
And I know they say it, but in my mind it was
another theory.
Their long time ago,
not our long time ago.
Yeah.
And they're saying too, it says a galaxy far, far away, but they think it's our galaxy.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff they kind of reference is it's in our
I think that's cool.
So if that were the case, it would make sense why in Indiana Jones, it shows that somebody saw R2-D2 and C-3PO, they knew existed, and he was said in that later date. So nice little fan theory.
Look at you thinking.
I know. If you divide the 2 times 20 in the Earth, it's 20 pounds.
No, I love when people do things like that though, and
it's neat.
It's kind of like a payoff to. Spending so much of your life watching movies.
If you're a fan, for the love of God, Lost, it was a payoff, all right? I wanted a good payoff.
That's what it's all about.
I wasted 7 years of my life, and I just wanted a good payoff.
Yeah. I know. That's what I like about Disney.
We don't
exactly. Yeah. We don't like to talk about that here.
No. Disney, attention to detail.
No, Disney, and even now Avengers.
And that theory about how all the Disney movies are connected.
I've read so many.
Like the first one's like Tangled or something like that.
Yeah, and Tangled, Little Mermaid, and Tarzan, and one more. We're all in the same. Frozen. We're all in the same one because they're saying the girl from Rapunzel's the cousin of Anna and Elsa.
Yeah.
And Anna and Elsa's parents get in a boat, shipwreck.
Right.
And they're saying their parents didn't really die in the wreck. They went on an island and had Tarzan, which was Tarzan's parents would make Tarzan their brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just all this weird mind blow.
Yeah.
And cool. The ship in Little Mermaid is supposed to be Anna and Elsa's parents' ship. In the first, when they're digging through, the shark attacks them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's supposed to be that. So because they're in the same Denmark and somewhere else.
Right.
So
that's
this whole
interesting.
big.
I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not, it's kind of fun to theorize.
Yeah, it gives you something to think about. It's kind of like with these. true crime things because it's like ones that are unsolved and stuff because you can kind of. I have all these books based on the Zodiac or Black Dahlia. I mean, sorry. So when you go through and read those, you go and kind of put some stuff in your head and be like, oh man, it's this person.
Yeah.
So stuff like that's really neat. Any closing statements?
Just looking forward to the next one.
All right, they hate us all. Yeah,
lots of good choices.
Yeah, this was a good one, and it wasn't 3 hours, so
yeah,
it was close. But yeah, hope everybody out there, hope everybody out there enjoyed. Thank you guys for putting up with this podcast. They've been very, very fun, and it's been fun to do them. So I hope y'all have just as much fun listening to them. Give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you share that podcast. Hit that subscribe button, and let's get to 300, guys. So, any parting words? Here we go.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. All right. Well, thank you guys, and we will see you next time.